From time to time, I'm going to be releasing videos where it's just me off the cuff, no script involved, just talking about what's going on in my head. And today I wanted to go over the poem. Probably everybody's seen it by now. It's called Footprints in the Sand. If you're not familiar with it, this is how it goes. One night I dreamed I was walking along the beach with the Lord. Many scenes from my life flashed across the sky. In each scene I noticed footprints in the sand. Sometimes there were 2 sets of footprints, other times there were 1 set of footprints. This bothered me because I noticed that during the low periods of my life, when I was suffering from anguish, sorrow, or defeat, I could only see 1 set of footprints. So I said to the Lord, "You promised me, Lord, that if I followed you, you would walk with me always. But I have noticed that during the most trying periods of my life, there have only been 1 set of footprints in the sand. Why, when I needed you most, you have not been there for me?" The Lord replied, "The times when you have seen only 1 set of footprints in the sand is when I carried you." Cue the religious sighing and going, "Oh, how true is that?" Not true at all, as a matter of fact. I can guarantee you every person who's ever gone through any hardship in their life, whether it's through natural disasters, some kind of horrible event like Sandy Hook, for example, or Columbine, or even simple things like divorce, breakups, death of a family member, they all remember getting through it on their own. Sure, they had friends, family, sometimes anyway, to help them through it. But in the end, it was them that trudged through their issues and came out on the other side. This is what religion does. It robs us of our ability to be ourselves, to be self-sufficient. It's Stockholm Syndrome taken to the extreme. You become so used to the absolute control that God has over your life that you become convinced that you're incapable of anything without Him. It sounds illogical to think that, being persecuted and abused mentally, physically, whatever, to think that that can somehow turn into love seems illogical, but battered wives do it all the time. They get a black eye. "Oh, well, it's my fault. Dinner wasn't ready when he gets home, and his temper is short after a long day at work." Or the entire nation of North Korea. Kim Jong-il had them under his thumb for so long that they have to believe that they are nothing without the dear leader. And that's exactly the way it is with religion. You're nothing without God. You're lucky that He's granted you life. You're somehow less than human if you don't belong to our private club. If you don't ascribe to our ridiculous, unfounded beliefs. Christians say they know a lot about hardship, about persecution. They often turn to this particular poem as a way to get themselves through it, to know that God will be there for them. What do they know about persecution? The last time they were fed to the lions was over 1,000 years ago. You want to talk about persecution? We'll talk about the fact that atheists in America make up less than 20%. We are the most distrusted minority in the entire country. And America isn't even the worst one. Atheists in the Middle East have a lot more to deal with. Yet they're still there, fighting the good fight, oftentimes hidden from the public view. But it's turning around, and we're getting through it on our own. We don't have anybody carrying us. We have other atheists that we can turn to for support. Yes, we do. But in the end, we have to rely on ourselves. Really, I think that that's a much more uplifting message. We don't have an invisible friend to snap his fingers and make all of our problems disappear. It's us, and only us. And I'm fine with that.